The Evolution of Takeoff. Many enthusiasts of hip hop music are informed of the effect, which is caused by the Grammy nominated rap association Migos, which has created the music culture, and one of the profound names linked with this group is Takeoff, who is dead now. One of the member band trio, rapper Takeoff, was horribly shot during a secret party that was hosted in downtown Houston. So, how did he start off and what happened till late? Let's find out in today's video. The 28-year-old rapper, whose real name is Kirsnick Ball, debuted only built for Infinity Links along with one of the group's member, Quavo, and without the third Migos partner, Offset. Talking about their band trio, the member of this Atlanta-based band are family members. Offset and Quavo are cousins, and Takeoff is their nephew. This famous trio established their group back in 2008, and according to Apple Music, they started recording in high school. Apple explains that Takeoff would make beats for the trio when the other members Offset and Quavo were at football practice. We came to know that he was the quiet Migo, with Quavo as the frontman and Offset as the wildcard. Takeoff set the foundations upon which the best rap association of an era was created. He was the youngest of the trio. He was only 18 years old when their breakthrough hit Versace exploded. But his voice was constantly the deepest, and it's like the baritone of an old bluesman, time-worn beyond his years. Takeoff was quite famous with other groups too. Label mates at Atlanta's Quality Control Music had nicknamed Takeoff the Silent Killer, often lost in his area, in the studio until it was time to unleash in the stall. However, if we talk about his other obsessions other than music, you will be surprised to know that he had a thing for the cosmic. His barely one solo album 2018's The Last Rocket tested the broadcast of a record-breaking space jump, and his one part of the rap saying, "I'm a ghost ride the Wraith, I wanna look at the stars today," became very famous. He furthermore rapped on the song Casper. From the onset, he had an aura of gravities. Senseless is barely the only way to describe his casualty when he was reportedly shot and killed outside a Houston bowling alley. Many people are right in saying that there would be no band without any one of its members, which comprises an uncle, nephew, and cousin who thought of themselves as brothers. But most precisely, we can say that there would be no band without Takeoff. Takeoff had done almost everything for their group. Back when Quavo was the high school quarterback and Offset was in and out of difficulty in their hometown of Lawrenceville, a suburb north of Atlanta, it was Takeoff compiling a makeshift studio in the cellar of his aunt's house, where all the three boys resided. He assembled a sock-covered Walmart microphone along with a free software program that was implied for putting together slideshows. Of course, songs had to be taped in excellent start-to-finish bursts, which wasn't a crisis for Takeoff, hence the name. Later, while Quavo and Offset acquired their demos around Atlanta strip clubs, Takeoff, who was single-minded, babyface, and without a fake ID, would be up all night creating songs to play for them when they got home. It's clearer to mindsight how extraordinary the three members were. Upon crash landing a decade ago into the darkness of the digital mixtape period, if not completely shaped, then, pretty damn near, the trio had a sound and technique that was entirely, instantly its own, the technique you can picture. The sound was where it got fascinating, motioning subtly back toward history and ahead toward a stunning new age in Atlanta. Migos were popular early on for club raps, with hooks that worked like mantras and correlated with the city's more expressionistic cause. The members were sometimes coded as highly productive but lowbrow mercenaries. Certainly, they were craftsmen, or we can say masters of rhythmic accuracy. But in their own manner, they were hip-hop classicists and indications of the format's strengths to improve the language that might not appear like much on a page into something joyful, graceful, and spectacular. To that end, Takeoff with his endlessly unfolding flow was the absolute ambassador among them. If you have watched their concerts or songs, you will find something wonderful in the trio's sluggish embrace of the spotlight. Takeoff never appeared much enthusiastic about being the guy in the front. Still, through his real enjoyment of rapping, he established a justifications to undergo it and finally to own it. He was at his most charismatic and safe going back and forth with his gang, doing what they constantly accomplished. The praise met Takeoff where he was, the harder he struggled. The more intense his skills were, and that's why it became difficult not to notice. and understanding his role, he prospered in it. He wasn't Michael Jordan, he was Dennis Rodman. He never wished to be Quavo, who fed off the interest. In exemplifying his greatness, he never had to walk outside himself. Two songs stands out as pivotal points in Migos' decade-long career. Takeoff steered both of them. In the silence after their gate-crashing YRN mixtape, some wrote the group off as a temporary trend. Then came 2014's Fight Night. Many musics at that time also had a springy West Coast beat, but nothing sounded half as vibrant as Takeoff did. Flaring into the hook, and his authority was arresting. Well, the performance felt like catharsis, but was privately about control, each emphasis optimized for the result. Fight Night came to be the trio's largest hit to that point. It felt like they had smashed free of a formula, coming on the boundary of something bigger. Nothing apprehends the Takeoff experience better than the time in 2015 when he and Quavo conducted some of their slams with a small orchestra holding down the fort while Offset was locked up, with a piece of the subject with tremendous potentials of corniness which nevertheless still moves everyone. Well, this was a new province for the pair, and you could almost sense some nerves, but Takeoff grounds the achievements with quiet dignity, hyping his uncle with his music, maintaining the whole thing in gesture, and when you can recognize it, as he starts having fun, a smile that builds at the corner of his mouth as he greets the camera's gaze. Sadly, this famous star is not with us anymore. Just hours before his shooting, Takeoff and Quavo were enjoying the release of their new single Messy, which was disclosed to the public on Halloween. The party in Houston was a promotional stay in assistance of the duo's new album, only built for Infinity Links. You will find that Takeoff's ultimate Instagram post isn't predictive, but it is odd. According to TMZ's report, he played dice with Quavo when an assertion broke out, ultimately resulting in the artist's death. And after that, officers arrived at the crime scene around 2:30 a.m. The aftermath of this famous star's shooting isn't just chaotic, rather, it is a tragedy of genuine significance in the world of rap. Promptly after the shooting, photos and videos of Takeoff's ultimate moments and Quavo's petitions for assistance made their rounds on Twitter. In a nation that is monopolized by social media, how casualty is refined, in particular how the Black Death is refined, has evolved to be public and soulless. Losing the best in the industry is the worst feeling ever. What do you think of the sudden demise of Takeoff and his journey from start to end? Let us know in the comments below, and remember to subscribe for more.